will try to do the same thing here right now.
Round one begins. And one question is, how aggressive will Calzaghe be against the man regarded as a bigger puncher? Joe Calzaghe has never backed down against anyone.
Every indication right now is that he intends to be extremely aggressive and apply a lot of pressure on Kessler, who's normally a technical fighter who likes to think, and they believe that Calzaghe is going to tonight try to put pressure, make him fight faster than he normally fights, to make him offset his thinking.
In his great rounds, and there have been many of them, Mikkel Kessler throws many more jabs than is the average in this weight class. Sometimes upwards of 50 jabs per round. He'll want to try to get it going despite Calzaghe's southpaw stance. Not always an easy assignment. There's been a significant punch so far. It was an early body shot by Calzaghe.
But at this stage right now, it's a very tight technical fight. I think that Calzaghe, being such a great technical and adjusting type fighter, is realizing that he's dealing with a little different opponent than he's been in the past. And I see him right now not being so overly aggressive and careless as he was in the beginning, because Kessler's taking advantage of his mistakes because of his great position and balance.
Both fighters are regarded as great managers of distance. Guys who know exactly how to set up in such a way that they can land and force the other man to miss. One question tonight is who can win the battle of distance? Then can Calzaghe get inside of Kessler's offense? Can Kessler keep Calzaghe at the end of his big punches?
People bring up Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns when discussing this fight. Like Leonard and Hearns, both these guys can punch. They can both box. It is unclear who will wind up being the aggressor here, who will wind up being the boxer.
I agree with you. And also, I mean, looking like Calzaghe is punching with a little bit more thought and much more straighter with his punches than he has in the past.
Well, Calzaghe says, when I throw roundhouse punches, it's because I'm fighting lesser opponents and I don't concentrate as well. Look at what I did to Lacey, where he poured his offense down the middle time and time again and hit Lacey with an unending barrage of accurate shots. For the moment, Kessler is able, when he fires his double jab and brings the right hand behind it, to back Calzaghe off.
Thus far, this has been a very good fight so far. No one has really established control. Both have landed a few clean blows, but you can't make a mistake. Both are punching very accurate and very sharp.
Couple of body shots for Calzaghe, one inside right hand for Kessler. Not much to choose between them in round one.
Not much to choose. Round may go to Calzaghe possibly because of his body rhythm, which creates excitement like he's doing more. Whereas, on the other hand, Kessler doesn't do a lot of moving around and jumping and moving his hands and feet.
Don't rush the jab, all right? You're not going to let that. You rush your jab, you're not going to let him jab. You've got to get his jab working, all right? Okay? So far, so good. Okay. You're not punching the hurt. You've got some fencing, all right? Start whacking the side of the body, all right? Get your range, all right? It's okay. Nothing wrong with that, right? You put it in for the first jab.
Right.
Are you looking at that? Flash and pass! Put it on. Right, this to me, you then go to the jab. Let the jab travel, double jab, and come in with 3 forwards. It's pace. In this round.
For the moment, they're speaking English in Kessler's corner. We hadn't anticipated that. We do have a Danish interpreter. Yes, Mortensen. CompuBox numbers in round one. Calzaghe 15 out of 64. Kessler 8 out of 43. So if there was an edge there, it belonged to the Welsh fighter, the home fighter. One big question, of course, given the venue, is does Kessler have to score a knockout to win the fight? Can he win a decision on Welsh turf in what's expected to be a close fight? Kessler, of course, says what everyone would say about that. I'm not concerned about it, or I'll take it out of the hands of the judges.
It was interesting talking to a lot of the people here from Welsh. A lot of them give Kessler a very good chance of winning the fight, much more than I expected.
And we can see why. Kessler is studying Calzaghe measuring the distance, landing short counter punches inside.
Good left hook there by Kessler. Incidentally, his mother is English, migrated to Denmark. There's a warning from Michael Ortega to Joe Calzaghe about holding behind the head. So Kessler is technically half English, half British, although that doesn't cut much ice with the Welsh crowd. Kessler stepping in just a little closer now to fire his left jab.
Yeah, both guys are very leery because they're having problems adjusting to the speed. But I don't think either one has ever fought a fighter of the caliber that they're fighting tonight. But Calzaghe is very tricky. He punches from different angles. And he punches very good and close, surprisingly, sometimes, even though he's a tall guy.
Emmanuel, is it inevitable when you step in and realize you're fighting somebody better than you've ever faced before, that for a few moments at least you become cautious?
Yes, and I think that's what happened to both guys.
Big right hand attempted by Kessler, just missed. Now he lands the right hand, drives Calzaghe into the ropes, and Calzaghe bounces off with a right hand of his own. But Kessler's punches are starting to find the mark.
Well, as Kessler said when we spoke, he may not be as fast as Calzaghe, but there's not that much difference in the speed.
And the straightest distance between, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Kessler punches straighter than Calzaghe.
But, you know, Calzaghe has a much better upper body movement. His head is very much more difficult to predict as compared to Kessler. Kessler's head is very stationary.
And as Calzaghe's proven throughout his career, he's wildly competitive. If you touch him, he's coming back.
Yeah, and he mixes up. He'll throw a looping left hand around the side of the head, and the next time he'll shoot it right through the middle.
Guys,
two right hands by Calzaghe.
This round, almost every significant punch has been landed by Kessler that I've seen.
But still, the rhythm of Calzaghe, I think, may bother going down to stretch Kessler because he's making Kessler's mind have to function a lot more.
Body shot inside by Calzaghe. Kessler again with the right hand. Fight is getting a little bit more active. Immediately following our telecast, stay tuned for the premiere of Countdown to Cotto Mosley. Our behind-the-scenes look at both of those fighters as they prepare for their welterweight championship fight 1 week from tonight, live on pay-per-view.
Good. Please throw the power shot. Listen to me. Are you trying to...
The Kessler corner wants him to keeping his distance and don't show too much respect. Keep pressuring him, keep up the tempo, and focus on his body. Keep hitting him hard. Hard punches, hard punches. Come on, keep the pressure.
You saw the CompuBox numbers on overall punches. Power punches through round 2. Calzaghe 15 of 55, 27%. Kessler 10 of 27, 37%. So Kessler a little more focused on power shot. Down goes Kessler, and that's a slip. Crowd responded as though it was a knockdown, but clearly it was a slip. Michael Ortega wants time to wipe off the gloves of Mikkel Kessler, who was ready to go back to fighting right away.
Not only was it a slip, Kessler had just landed a good punch.
Good right hand by Kessler. Calzaghe comes back with a left and begins to throw his arms wide and wing his punches. An occasional Calzaghe habit. But Joe thinks that his hand-speed advantage is starting to come into play.
Well, I think not just his hand speed, just his so fierce determination, because he seems to be panicking because he realizes how close this fight is, and nobody has got a really decided edge, and he seems to be punching more in desperation to try to establish an advantage.
And you see how much more precise in his technique Kessler is as he sticks within the envelope, throwing his jab and the right hand in totally conventional fashion, while Calzaghe begins to get squirrely and wild.
Calzaghe's trying to impose his will on Kessler as he has with every opponent he's ever fought. Kessler is unlike any opponent he's ever fought. I don't know that he can simply impose his will by wildly winging punches.
I believe he's beginning to impose his will. I may be wrong. He seems to be, he's making Kessler fight at a much faster pace, and the punches are coming from so many different angles. And Kessler's more of a base classic fighter.
And it's fascinating that Calzaghe's brave enough here in round 3 to drop his hands to his waist and showboat just a little bit.
He always does that to somebody.
I know. But some thought he wouldn't do it tonight. Straight left hand landed for Calzaghe. Reaching for the body shot there. Kessler's corner asked him to focus on the body, but by and large, I think Mikkel is mostly throwing up there.